When you think of classic European cars, the first thing that springs to mind is probably names like Porsche, Ferrari, Jaguar. I want to talk about the Volvo Amazon. Well, even before they were building 850Rs and turbo bricks, Volvo was quietly making one of the cooler sleeper cars of the 20th century. This thing may have looked conservative, but it proved itself to be a fiery little competitor both on racetracks and in rallying, and they remain popular in the custom world today. Let's jump in and see what we can do with one of these. I haven't touched too many of them other than when I was at my father's shop and it was repair work. We weren't modifying them. I've always looked at the Amazon body and thought, what a cool body. I would love to get my hands on one and do one day. Some of the things that I've always loved about this car is just the simple, elegant lines. You know, everything goes from one end all the way to the other. There's nothing that is stopping your eye to go from the front to the rear. It's just clean, simple, and elegant. You know, my dad always said that simplicity is elegance. That's what I say this whole design is. It's a very elegant car, but let's make it a little simpler and a little more elegant. It's funny, you ask me what comes to mind when I think of a Swedish car or, you know, European car or any car. It's always the same thing, no matter what the brand or where it came from. I'm only thinking about the shapes and the form and what I can do with them. I don't care where it came from. I don't care if it's an American car, European car. To me, I don't think about who built it or where it was built. It's what can we do with it here? It's a very common thing for designers to take inspiration from other cars. As I just said, that this car was inspired by, you know, I can see elements of the Chrysler 300 and, you know, elements of the New Yorker in this design. And it may have not been from that, but designers all inspire each other. You know, I can see something somewhere and think, wow, that could be a neat way to resolve something that I'm doing at the shop. We're all trying to do our best. And when something inspires you, you bring it into the work that you're doing, but you try to do it better. If I were to actually build this car and I was cutting the top off of it, you'd have to get in there and see what kind of chassis or unibody or whatever is underneath this. How do you reinforce it so that the body doesn't collapse on itself? And it may be that we build a complete chassis underneath it, that when the body's on it, you know, the chassis is the strength, not the body itself. Because as soon as you eliminate that top structure, it could become pretty flimsy. It's interesting when I look at this, I see a lot of the styling cues. I think that Volvo in the 90s, when they brought out the V70, they took a lot of cues from this car. The shoulders and you know, the elegance of this was definitely the inspiration for the V70. But what I did with this car is I simplified it, just got rid of the big molding that was across the top of the car. I think that would be nice if it were just a subtle little body step. And I added the chrome molding down at the bottom, which picks up the line in the rear quarter. But also went with a larger wheel, but went with a body color in the center, just a chrome lip and a dog dish hubcap. Cleaned up the bumpers, smoothed them off, and then went with a painted headlight door. You can keep that body line there
Kombinator.
Rather than that big chrome ring, paint that
Gdzie się
body,
wybierasz?
lower the windshield and
Gdzie
cut
się
the
wybierasz?
top off, and
No
this
gdzie?
could be a folding top.
Kombinatorka.
Full-time roadster. But, you could have roll-up glass. And then I went with a 69 Jaguar door handle.
Co to jest?
Just to clean that up and simplify it as well. The goal here was just to clean it up, simplify it, and make it a little more elegant than it was. And for not a whole lot of money, you can have a really fun car here. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And I want to thank Pep Boys for sponsoring this Haggerty show and for helping car lovers go further since 1920. And the goal here was just to clean it up, simplify it, and make it a little more elegant than it was. And for not a whole lot of money, you could have a really fun car here. I hope you enjoyed this episode.